Hey guys, Tester Ram here. I'm here with the boys for the Isle of Ceilia campaign. I'm here with Gesh,
Alright.
Shadowy,
Yellow.
and Zeus.
Yeah?
I'm doing my intro. Say hi.
No, I don't want to say hi to them. I don't like them.
Anyways, that's who we're here with today because Ruby apparently told me at 9:53 a.m., but I didn't realize because I was tired as crap that they were gonna be late. And I have officially, for the moment, removed Marius from the game as they have not responded to me at all in the last month. So I assume there's something going on with them. So I'm going to remove them from the game until they do. I'm just going to say Marius' character walked off. So yeah. Anyways, that's who I'm here with today. Any questions from you guys before I go into my spiel of what happened last session? It seems not. All right. So,
I'll save the questions for afterwards.
well, I'm asking you now because I'm.
He's asking you, dumbass.
Well, that's the point. I'm going to ask him afterwards because I don't have any questions right about now.
Okay.
Why would you say it like that?
And
Yeah, if I have any questions about what you're going to say for the spiel.
okay, give me 1 second. I'm just looking up some cool music to use. I don't know. Is this copyright free? Oh no. Maybe. Who cares? Hello? There we go. Fucking hell. I'm lagging heavily because my recording software is open at the moment. And I know that sounds weird, but that's the reason why. I've noticed it. Anyways, so last session, the party be leaving from Fenrir's cave after receiving his blessing and having finished his challenge, had been speaking to each other about certain things, and eventually got ambushed by a Cyclops that came rushing from the trees. After fighting the Cyclops, it seemed not to want to fight, but more so capture a strong member of their party, as it seemed to take Zeus's Vrock character in an attempt to make away with them. However, the party managed to stop him by blowing up his balls, and eventually he ran into the forest without them. The party started to speak about the ecology and entomology of Cyclopses to their knowledge, and not rolling high enough, they didn't understand if he was going to get the rest of their clan or what. The party, realizing that this might be a danger and may having to silence the Cyclops, decided to head into the forest. And I gave you guys a technical long rest, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. At this point, the party had run into the forest, and we were supposed to take a break, but I was tired off my fucking ass that day and was about to pass out, so I said, let's end the session there, and the party agreed, so we ended the session. Anyways, that's what happened last session. Any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay, let me get some music started then. Let's see if you work today, you stupid ass piece of shit bot. So, as the party makes their way into the forest, I'm assuming Vrock went with them, correct?
Yes, we changed it.
Okay. As the party heads into the forest, I mean, you can always play a secondary character that's just in the forest. Your choice, man. Okay. As the party makes their way into the forest, we watch as Jarian, watching all this shit happen, steps out of the cart, says goodbye to the archaeologist, and makes his way away from the party, leaving them for the time being. Vrock enters the forest, and as the party begins to track their prey, the Cyclops, I forget, who rolled the survival check?
That was Ruby.
And I think they rolled a 19, right?
Yeah, roll 19.
Alright. You guys begin to follow. What is Ruby's character's name again?
Brian.
Brian. Brian begins to lead you through the forest, cutting a few large bushes as you guys follow the tracks of this large, two-legged, bleeding, ball-sacked, ogre-kin kind of cyclops. As you begin to follow these tracks, Brian begins to lead you, and you all begin to lose track of Brian a little bit as he's moving faster and faster. Eventually, you watch as Brian seems to go through a few sets of bushes before you, about 50 feet in the distance in front of you. You can't really fly in this tightly knitted jungle kind of forest. Many trees that are very close to each other. Some of them are kind of lean to the side because of the amount of trees there are. There's large rocks, very little bit of open canopy. As you're running through this, you can hear the sound of rain beginning to splash down and thunder cracking across the sky. As you pass through, you do see small bits of flying, almost motes of fireflies of different colors. They seem to be purveying a small, dim light throughout the forest. As you guys seem to have lost track of Brian for a minute. You see where he went, but you don't see him at the moment.
Oh, shit.
I forgot one thing. The forest does have a low mist that hangs like an inch off the ground.
Alright, so seeing as Brian went for some bushes,
Mm-hmm.
Ragnos is going to make his way, I guess, into those bushes, but he's going to be careful, as he doesn't want to just go straight into an ambush.
Okay. So, as you begin to push through the bushes, make me a perception check.
There you at?
There it is. Okay. That's only a 13.
Okay. Brock, what's your passive perception?
10.
Okay, good to know. So, Ganesh, what's your character's passive perception?
10.
What the fuck? You're a perception build guy usually. Even
Usually,
perception
but this time I'm a wizard. I put my points more into
Thank
Dex
you.
and Con,
I'm
and
not, thank you, but I'm surprised.
and my wisdom got reduced by 2. Remember?
Yes. Anyways,
Hey, his brain.
as you begin to push through these bushes, or try to, you push through, and you hear what sounds like movement on the other side. Do you continue to push through?
Well, considering I know my friends through here, it would probably be a safe idea to push aside. Because even if there's something, I could probably meet up with them.
Okay. So, as the other two are right behind you, you push through the bushes. The rest of you,
Yeah.
you begin to hear rustling behind you.
I'm going to
I
pull my sword and spin around.
turn around.
So as you both turn around and get ready, you see your friend, Ragnos, who just went into the bushes in front of you, suddenly pushes out of the bushes behind you. Ragnos, he pushed through the bushes, and you suddenly see your friends turn around, aiming their weapon and getting ready for combat at you.
Whoa, guys, what the hell? Actually, how the...
Oh no.
Actually,
oh,
he
shit.
looks back. Ragnos looks back.
You look back, and there's just forest behind you.
Alright. I'm gonna try going through here again. I'm actually... How about this? I'm gonna
Walk
grab
backwards
hold
this
of
time.
Rocco's and Aerate's hands. We're gonna go through together, and we're gonna keep going forward.
That sounds like a good idea. But I'm pretty sure something has trapped us here.
Well, we're gonna see if we're trapped here by some magic bullshit. So, let's just walk forward.
Alright, you walk through the bushes again. As you do, you're still in the forest. You're not sure I'll say roll me nature or perception check since you push through.
I will roll nature.
Nature is much easier of a DC.
Bruh.
22.
Okay. Shadowy.
Yeah, I got a 13 again, literally the exact same roll.
Okay.
8.
Okay. You guys push through into another clearing. Yes, this is definitely the same clearing. You just push.
Okay,
In fact, as you look through, though, you don't see any of your footprints, and the mist seems to be swirling around.
Okay, Ragnos, I hand Ragnos a, end of a hemp rope. Should just try to walk forward again, and let's see what this produces.
Alright. So I'm gonna grab hold to the hemp rope, and I assume Vrakos and Ariad are gonna be holding on to the other side of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Marcos, you just walked into this new clearing, and everyone's like acting weird, and you're handed a rope.
I'm gonna try walking him backwards.
No,
Alright, in that case, we'll let Vrakos walk
don't.
Actually, I'm gonna stay back
You
and
should
hold on to it,
stay
let him
there.
walk it.
Yeah. Yeah, give me the rope. I think it's better if I have
So
it.
Vrakos, as you begin to walk backwards with the rope as well, you walk into the bushes, and you feel the rope go slack as you walk backwards and bump into Ragnos, and you look backwards and you have a small piece of rope in your hand. The others notice the rope as you pull it back is just slashed. Not by like, it's not frayed or hit by a blade, it's just as if it got seared off. I will say, Gesh, roll me an Arcana check.
14.
14. This is definitely searing by some sort of magic. You're unsure what kind.
I think that it's obvious that it's magic,
Yeah.
and
It doesn't
it's
seem to have any burn, like, it doesn't seem to have any, like, lightning or flame residue on it. It's just pure magical searing of the rope.
might be some kind of spatial magic, but that is not really my area of expertise. That's interesting. I wonder who trapped us here.
There we go,
Oh,
Brian has
you-
arrived.
Well, give me a
Said
minute.
I would be late.
Alright. But with that... So, Eric, you have a probably better idea of what kind of thing we're in. So, do you have any ideas on how we get out of here? It sounds like a
Not-
magical solution.
I have one.
What is it, Vrakos?
Well, so far we've proven that we can't walk through here. Very least. Let's try to walk the other way. Like, let's try to walk away from this thing. See if that works. And if that does work, that means the Cyclops can't walk through here. So we're fine either way.
Well, the Cyclops isn't in here.
So what
If
I
he was trapped
missed?
with us.
You're not here.
If he was trapped, he'd be along here with us. But
Yeah.
that is but I guess we could see what other parts of this clearing do, or if it's just a specific area.
So it's not just
So,
a
I'm
single
gonna hold
set of
on to this
bushes,
rope.
like you try to push through a few that are right next to it, and that area of the clearing is not working.
Alright. Yeah, so in that area of the clearing, it seems to be pretty...
Yeah. I'll say over the
Okay.
course of a few minutes of testing, the entire clearing seems impossible to push through. It seems to just teleport to the opposite side of the clearing you went through.
Okay.
So after a few minutes of trying this out, you get a little bit exhausted. I need everyone to make me a wisdom save. Except for you, Ruby, since you're not here.
Yep.
Actually, wait, yeah, it says a... Wait, didn't you say that this place had a lot of tree coverage? Is it just like a clearing when it comes to...
Clearing
I guess
as
it's
in
just-
there's not a lot of trees here, but the canopy is still nice and knitted tight. There is a few holes in the canopy where moonlight is shining through with like a few beams of it, but not enough to like see into the stars much.
Alright,
I got the 13.
I only got a 14.
Okay. Zeus.
17.
Okay. Let me
A
go ahead
moment of clarity.
this would be. What is it called? There you go. Where is it? There we go. What is these DC? Just go with that because it's similar. Okay, there it is. Okay, so Ragnos, you said 14?
Yep.
Okay, so Eric, as you and them are seemingly getting a bit exhausted from all this like moving around, you guys watch as Eric slowly starts to like massage his temple a bit, and then yawns and falls unconscious.
Ah, shit, I was one under the DC.
I will say, you, Ragnos, start to feel very sleepy, like very lethargic, but you manage to shake it off. It's at this point that you watch as out of one of the bushes, there's a lot of noise.
Oh.
Well, I guess that might be whatever's trapped us here. It's probably waiting for us to fall asleep.
Something comes bursting out. You can see the shaded form come falling out of the bushes. What do you guys do? This is in the moment. What are you doing?
Pulling out my sword and shield.
All right.
I'll pull up my sword.
Your sword's already out.
All right. I pulled more out.
Okay, your sword becomes erect.
Yeah, I'm just like swinging around, like dangerously.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Because
No. Oh. Okay. Yeah, sure. This is fine. 16.
16. Ruby, what's your AC?
I fucking knew it.
My AC, give me a sec. I was outside tending to the chickens real quick. My AC is 14.
So, Ruby, as you turned around after pushing through a few bushes, you seem to have lost your friends, and everywhere you went, it seemed not to lead to like the next part of the forest that you could see. It seemed like whatever was here, whatever magic was in this forest, was making you get a bit lost. And as you push past a tree, you find yourself falling into a small clearing, not like sky can be seen above you, because the forest is very dark and closely knit tight, and very like a lot of trees and bushes. Like it's hard to move through. But you see yourself falling with like a little bit of moonlight pushing into the clearing with a small bit of mist on the ground as the rest of the forest is. And as you start to fall, you feel something slice upon your neck as you suffer, Zeus. Go ahead and roll damage. As you
13.
Slash this creature. 13. Ruby, you suffer 13 points of damage.
Alright.
As you get slashed and fall back onto the bush, and you look up, and as you hold your wound, you look up and see Vrakos is swinging a weapon around wildly while Ragnos is holding his weapon. It's at this point that you two notice that it is Brian that just got hit.
Ooh, Brian, you good?
Not the first time I was hit in the neck with a sword.
Probably not the last time.
But not the first time I didn't do it with a freaky king. What?
Seriously, it ain't.
You guys hear surrounding you.
Brian, how did you get in here exactly?
I fell.
Vrakos,
Push? Wait, yes?
as you hear this, you swear the trees are creaking and bending down, almost like a person looking like they just dropped a penny on the ground. The trees seem to open up, and parts of them with like large, wide mouths and angry faces as everything is getting a bit darker around you. The clearing's mist is starting to swirl around you a bit more.
So, what's going on?
Neither
Not
of you
sure,
see this,
but
by the way. Only Vrokos.
Okay. So, you fell in here, Brian.
Yep, I tripped and fell into the clearing.
Uh,
I would like to back away from these trees.
Alright, you back away to the edge of the clearing. You guys watch as Vrokos pushes into a bush as if he's afraid of something. And you expect him to push out of the other side onto the clearing, and he doesn't.
I look.
Vrokos,
Yeah.
as you push through the bush, you find yourself in a smaller kind of tight clearing with a small rocky hill with a tree where you can see the roots have dug down into the small rocky outcropping a bit. The tree is leaned a bit.
Hmm.
There's a heavy, almost like ocean of mist that pulls up to your waist area, and you can feel it. Almost feels like you're standing in liquid up to your knees.
Gotcha. Smaller clear. Can I press forward, or is the
As you take a single step, it feels like your leg sinks into like 2 feet of mud, and you start to pull it out. You start to feel the mist rising above you like water as it starts to swirl around your face.
look?
As
Immediately.
we turn back to the rest of the party.
Did Rocco's just step out of the clearing?
Yes. Though I wonder why he was backing away like so.
I guess. I actually.
Thunder.
Well, we should probably follow, as I am going to head through the same bush that Vrokos did.
Yeah, Ragnar's gonna go along because he's like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here?
So, as
Just
you
gonna
both,
see if. That's right.
as you both push through the bush, you end up on the other side of the clearing that you just left, with Eret in the middle. Actually, no. As you leave, you end up in the same clearing. I'll say, Shadowy. You notice that it's the same clearing. That Eret is no longer there.
Oh.
You do see a small impression of where he was as the impression in the ground begins to close up.
Oh no.
All right.
Where could he have gone?
I'm guessing whoever trapped us here has collected him.
Return to Vrokos. Vrokos.
Yeah.
As the pool begins to cover over you in mist, you start to pull your hand out to try and pull yourself out, like grabbing towards a root, but the mist seems to almost swirl around you like vines, and they start to pull your hands down as you're trying to pull yourself out. You know that picture of like the black ochre jelly from the Monster Manual where it's around like an ogre?
Right.
Yeah, kind of like that, but you're stuck waist deep in mud as you're being slowly dragged down.
I'm gonna. Can I like? Can I try harder? Can I roll?
Yeah, make me a strength save.
Gotcha. Look at this mud.
With disadvantage, of course.
Aww. Strength save.
Because you're already restrained at this point.
That. Oh no, that'd be a 9.
9? Did you roll a
Yeah.
natural 1?
No,
Let me check.
I rolled a 5.
So, you try to pull, and the harder you pull, it feels like it's pulling 10 times harder than you. And the harder you pull, the harder it pulls. As you eventually submerge underneath, and what screams you try to spurt out are muffled by the fog entering into your system. As we pull out from that, and we just watch Vrokos disappear between underneath the fog as we turn to the other group.
Wait a minute. You think that whoever's trapped us here intended to let Vrokos leave? Because it seems that Eret was able to I guess, technically leave, even though he seems to have been taken.
At this point,
But he
you
is outta
guys
here.
see that the fog is starting to raise up above your knees, and it's starting to get very hard to see through.
They probably wish to isolate us, as I am going to call out, "Show yourself," in Sylvan.
As you say that, in Sylvan you hear, "I don't like parties." At this point, you, Shadowy, need to make me a dexterity saving throw. As your character didn't notice it at first, but you did hear the sound of, like, moving rubber.
Alright. That's a nat 20 for 22.
You hear it underneath your legs, and you manage to dodge out of the way as you watch a few vines try to wrap around your legs. And as you pull back and pull out your weapon to make a strike at them, they disappear back to the fog. Oh, you're no fun. That's what you hear, Brian.
Well, we are on a mission, and
Oh, I
we're
know.
just passing through.
You're still intruders, though. So, what can you give me to let you through?
I don't have much. I don't have much I could offer. Only a few daggers, or maybe some gold. So,
I have no use for those. Listen here, and listen fast. Intruders less than 3, listen to me. Empty, interesting items out of pockets thee. If you want me to go over that little spiel, I know you're speaking in my home language, so I assumed you didn't want me to go into like all that stupid rhymed phase shit. Anyways, you got anything interesting?
I myself do not, though perhaps my compatriot. As I am going to ask Shadowy's character, which I forgot the name of. Do you have any interesting items?
Alright, so I'm assuming this whole conversation was done in Sylvan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, alright, what do you, I guess, define interesting, and what do you need them for?
We are trading them for passage through here. And by interesting, I'm assuming they mean some sort of magical item.
It's at this point, you hear back in Sylvan to you, Ruby. Your friend smells of an acquaintance of mine. Why?
They have said that you smell like an acquaintance of theirs.
By the way, this entire
Oh, like-
conversation, you've been hearing it echoed from different... It's not a single place. It's like every single time a new sentence is started, it's from a different area around the clearing.
Yeah.
Different heights, different areas.
I smell like an acquaintance of theirs. Well, I'm assuming they're talking about that goddess Shale Shy. It gave me a blessing.
I'm going to ask them in Sylvan. Is that who you were talking about?
Your friend speaks weird words. I don't understand them. But I did hear an interesting name. Shale Shy. I haven't heard that in 20 plus years.
He said he was given a blessing from her.
Well, who the goddess decides gets their blessings and who doesn't has no quarrel with me. That's not who I speak of, though. Tell me, do you want to hear a song? I've some songs.
Perhaps.
I play a mean wind instrument.
Perhaps, however, I would kindly request that it doesn't mess with our minds.
Oh, come on. What's the fun in a face? What's the fun if not a little fey charm added on to a nice performance? Here, let me start. You start to hear what sounds like a flute. I need both of you to make wisdom saves.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see what
This
my
is a magical
wisdom-
effect.
Alright, so let's see.
By the way, Shadowy, all you're hearing is and then
Alright,
That's a dirty 20.
of course. Of course. Modern.
What? Oh, crap!
So as you hear this, you're like, what the fuck? And you're like, what the fuck is being said? And you start to hear the like jangle of metal. And you're like, where's the who's here? Who's there? You're like trying to figure out. You're trying to find out where the enemy who's moving in metal armor or with all this metal on them is. Ruby, you turn around and you just see Ragnos hitting the Irish jig behind you.
Can I roll a performance check?
They are magically compelled to dance.
Can I join them?
I mean, if you would like to, yeah.
Okay.
That's
All
a
right,
26.
I'm gonna roll performance as well. All right, that's a 23.
All right, so as you guys begin to dance, man, you really subverted what I was just about to do, because you started to dance. As you begin to dance, you hear, "Hey, hey, hey," from in Sylvan. You, Shadow, just hear, as you start to hear on parts of the trees around the clearing what sounds to be like someone doing the like tap dancing with their feet. As you see what seems to be this several foot tall creature that seems to be just jumping from tree to tree without even like moving really. They just like seem to shift to another tree as they seem to be playing a strange flute-like device that you can't really make out. You can't make out details. It's just shadows that you're seeing as they keep jumping from tree to tree. Eventually, the song ends, and as you guys stop dancing and your poses, you hear "Magnificent, magnificent!" as appearing out of in the middle of the area that you guys are standing, where the fog just disappears. You see this 7 foot tall, just like it seems like he has like it's a very slender but pointy faced kind of fey creature. He has this green skin. His chin comes down into like a very fine point. His head comes up into a crown of sorts of many different like blades of grass. His eyes are these slanted large blades of yellow that seem to from the sides of them seem to close and open. His large chin seems to have a set of teeth and a smile almost halfway down it. It's not like a normal mouth. As he seems to stand there, he stands at 7 feet tall. He has the clothing on of what seems like a jester, but it almost looks like it's made of cornstalk. And his feet come down to like these jingling jester kind of elf shoes. And you see there are like bell sprouts on the end of them, and as he moves, they jingle. As he seems to be holding a large flute in one hand made of stone. As he puts it away, you can see another, you can see like a harp on his back. Magnificent! Magnificent! He goes up and he kisses you both on the cheeks as you feel yourself unable to move, both of you, because you both started dancing. He goes, "That was the best jig I've seen in years, even better than Ceilia? Whatever her fucking name is. Honestly. Good job, good job. That was very interesting. Thank you very much. I'll make sure to put that recording on ShoeTube."
And
YouTube?
I must commend you. You're quite the formidable composer.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, what do you want?
We were just passing through with our friends.
Ah, I see. Yeah, those two. I'm not gonna be able to bring them back to you, but I could let you pass through my forest. Why'd you come to my forest first?
Well, there was a cyclops that kind of attacked us on the road.
Oh, you mean
And-
yeah, Oleg? Yeah, the one that was bleeding with the. Was that you guys who blew up his balls?
One of our compatriots.
Sheesh, you guys
I-
are. He just like wipes his brow and he does like a little whistle. Ruthless. By the way, I forgot to mention he has a large nose, like a large, thin, pointed nose that seems to curl at the end of it. It's like a good 3 feet long. And as he says that, his nose like flicks left and right too.
Well, it was not really intended to target, or at least I don't believe so. It was a magic missile spell directed
Oh,
towards
magic
him.
missile! No, that is very targeted. You direct where that hits. In fact.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, well, you don't know much about magic, do you? Well, I mean, of course not. I mean, look at the weapon you carry. Look at the. Oh,
I
hello.
am a hexblade.
Been a while. And you hear in your mind from your sword, oh no, not him.
Who? I ask my
Listen,
sword mentally.
you need to get out of here. You hear in your mind, hey, what we talking about?
Oh god.
I would kindly recommend you not suddenly barge into my mind.
You see his face in actual gets a little bit mad. And I kindly ask you don't enter into my forest without permission. But I mean,
In
what
my-
can we do?
In
Your
my
mind,
defense, I did
your
not
mind's my
know.
mind, my forest, your forest. You know, tomato, tomato, potato, pot. You know.
I'm just been looking at this, just sort of.
Yeah, you're just
somewhat
hearing.
confused.
You're just hearing.
I thought
wait.
this was in common. Now I'm even more confused.
Mhm.
I thought we were talking mentally.
No, he talked to you once mentally, and then when he said that, he started speaking physically again.
Well-
You see his eye like shifts over to you, Ragnos, and you hear in your head Sylvan, which you don't understand.
In kind, we did not know this was your forest, and we sincerely
What, you just walk into
apologize.
some random forest without expecting the wildlife or the owner of the? Well, you said you didn't know it. You should always assume a forest is under the guidance of a fae like us, especially on these isles.
Fair. It seems that the island is split between several fae.
Oh,
Where
you
we're
don't know
from,
much,
it
do
was
you?
a dryad.
You don't know much. Oh, a triad. Where did you come from?
So just hearing all
Uh,
this, I do actually. Dragonus does actually speak up. I'm
You're
sorry,
hearing-
dude. I don't
yeah.
speak. I don't speak Sylvan.
He looks to you and starts whistling a tune really quickly, and you start to do another jig. That'll keep your friend busy.
I unfortunately don't recall the name of the town we're from. My friend probably does, though.
I'll ask him.
Shally, what's your character's name again?
Magnus.
Ragnos. What was the name of the town where we came from?
Oh, Shardward.
We are from Shardwood.
Ah. So it was her. Interesting. Well, be on your way. He taps you on your shoulder. Oh, and if you're looking for your friends, I kind of made a deal with the Cyclopses. Might want to go talk to them. They should be north, and he points south. Oh wait, no, north, and he points north.
Thank you.
Wait, no.
Come on,
I
Ragnos.
believe they set up their shop on the. That was their old, mind you. And he points west now. That's where you want to go.
Thank you for your help. Come along, Ragnos.
Oh no, I want to watch him perform more.
Well, perhaps we can stop by on our way
You watch
back
as
from the
Ragnos'
Cyclopses.
performance is starting to like. You hear pops in his body and he's dancing, like popping and locking. You could see that the spell is very dangerous if left on for a long time. As you can see that his
it
body is starting to wear down, like he's pulling parts of his body to the point to extremes at this point.
His joints are starting to dislocate, so he needs a rest. Perhaps we can stop by and dance for you after we deal with the Cyclopses?
Oh, okay, yeah, that seems fun. Go ahead. And he snaps his fingers as your friend stops. Ragnos, you stop and you are very. You're not exhausted, but you're close to exhaustion at this point.
Damn it.
I wonder how I got through that without having to make a diplomacy check.
Anyways, tell the sword I said hi. Tell her she still seems to be a weirdo. But if you stop on by, I'll talk to her then. Anyways, get going. Shoo. And he watches he shoos you. You see, like, a large fucking hand of stone gets out and does the same fucking gesture.
Alright. So, Ragnos is sort of popping his joints back into place, massaging his arm.
And
Brian, the hell were you guys talking about?
By the way, this guy basically
I-
looks like lemon grab, but made out of grass.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I managed to talk him into letting us go so we can get our friends from the Cyclopses, which are over west, as I point west,
You point
and
east.
that we will come back and dance for him a little while after we deal with the Cyclopses and get our friends back.
Okay, second question. Who the fuck is that?
I did not catch his name.
I would say, Brian,
You
you
haven't-
know that Fae don't like to give their names.
They don't like handing out their names to
Alright, do
people
you have an
they
idea of what
don't
he
trust.
does? Like, what's his position?
Uh,
Seems powerful.
maybe a jester of a court of some sort. He rules over this forest.
Alright. So, is that why he stopped us?
Yes, we were intruding. We probably needed to ask for his permission along the edge, though none of us realized he was the owner of the forest or that it was under his own protection.
Alright, I guess I'll ask you while we're walking how exactly you ask a Fae for permission. You like just, I guess just ask, go up here.
You
I would
Ask
say you
for
would
them.
know that in the regular Feywild, usually they require a gift or something in like a secret, a gift, a gift. It could be either physical, a secret, a performance. It really depends on the Fey.
They tend to require a gift, though it depends on the Fae, which
Some
what
of
it
the more
is. It could
twisted
be a
ones,
gift.
Some of the more twisted ones take facets of personality. Some of them take, like, for example, similar to witches, they would take, like, any talent that you have or memories. It really depends on how twisted and vile the Fae is.
It depends on how evil the Fae is. Some might take your talents, some might ask for a secret or a physical gift, some might take your memories or parts of your personality. It truly depends on which Fae you run into.
You have heard of stories of, like, one or two Fae in the past who literally asked for a group to murder one of the people in their party to continue through, and they had to. So
We are lucky that we did not have to kill one of our party members to get through, I'll tell you that much.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
So, as you guys begin to head through the forest, you get off track a little bit, but you do eventually start to notice that the Fae is guiding you a bit westward. There's a few birds that seem to appear out of the trees, and you watch as they age almost indefinitely in seconds, then turn to scraps into nothing, and into flowers. This seems to be the Fae that controls this forest, I will say, just passive insight, you're unsure if they're very chaotic or completely vile and twisted. They seem to have a more manic kind of personality, but you're not sure.
Well,
They're hard to read.
let's hurry along. We don't want our friends to have anything untowards happen to them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as you guys begin to push to the west, Zeus, Yesh,
Yeah.
brothers in arms. Eret, you're the first to awaken. Rock is tied behind you as you find yourself sitting upon a large rocky cliff surface. There's multiple plateaus of rocky cliff at the edge of this island that seem to be above the sea. You feel yourself tied to Vrock, and as you begin to awaken and look around, you do feel a heavy wind breeze as you are being pulled by this rope that holds you both towards the edge of a sea cliff by what appears to be a large cyclops. As they're pulling you over there, you see this rough crane-like mechanism that seems to be placed at the edge. It seems to be embedded into the stone and built. It seems to be a few planks put together with a small hempen rope that's old and frayed that seems to go out into a crossbar that goes above the sea. You see what seems to be a hook on the edge and what seems to be a large pot that is hung above it. And just at the edge of the sea, there seems to be, it doesn't go above the sea. You see that it goes like maybe an inch or so away from the sea's edge. And you see there's this large hole that's been carved into the rock where you see a large kettle, old and rusted, has been placed. And you could see some liquid is boiling inside of it as you're being pulled towards it.
That isn't good.
You could hear around you as you look around very quickly, moving your head. You're completely gagged as well, and you could see your brother's tied behind you, of course, but you could see about 7 to 9 other cyclopses that seem to be watching this happen, and you can see behind you there's a bit bigger of a stone platform where you can see a stone throne that's been there for a while, covered in vines and thorns and just seemingly cracked through by vegetation, sits, and you can see sitting upon it, there seems to be a female cyclops form. You're unsure how tall they are, but they don't seem to be as tall as the other cyclopses. They're wearing this almost kind of barbaric dress of hides and skins of many animals. Adorned on her head is a crown of bones from previous hunts. You could see that her face is very feminine in nature. You could see, actually, they don't have tusks. You could see what seems to be this small underbite and what seems to be this very buff-looking cyclops woman. Nice-sized breasts. I'm not going to go into all that. But she seems to be sitting there watching as her hair is very not frayed, but frazzled, and you can see that it's brown in nature, as she holds on her right side a large 10, 15-foot tall great club. The great club that she is wielding as it sits on the ground as she just holds one hand on it seems to be made out of a tree branch, or even a tree, you're not sure. But the club she wields has veins of green and blue that seem to run through from the top to the bottom the club itself, and every so often you can see magic of the same color pulses through very dimly. As this whole tribal ritual is beginning to she slams her great club on the ground for a second as you're being brought over, and you could hear them speaking in giant. Sorry, she would go. And you hear the one that's dragging you. And he stops dragging you for a second as he goes to reach to go get something else. It's at this point that you feel your brother start to coming to as he seems to be shaking.
Yeah. Where am I?
As you
Great
say
job.
that, you are muffled, by the way. Because you have a gag in your mouth.
Right. That's better. I love that.
Eric, your brother is awake now.
I just look at him.
The Cyclops grabs you guys again and starts to drag you.
I'm gonna look back at him. I roll intimidation check.
You look at the 20-foot Cyclops that's dragging the both of you? Or your brother?
Okay, that's a much better idea. Hold on. I'm gonna look at the Cyclops.
Alright, you look up towards the Cyclops, and unlike the Cyclops that attacked you recently, which seemed to be a hunter of the group or something because it was lightly armored, you see this 25-foot tall creature, bulging muscles, greenish yellow skin, with this large set of almost like plate mail armor made of bones of many different creatures that seems to be combined with the sinew and flesh of others, that seems to just be coating his body into like almost a shaman's dress that goes down to the bottom. As you look up towards him, he wears this large face mask with a large single horn of what seems to be a rhino at the edge of it, as he looks down towards you with one very red eye coming down from the inside of his mask. You shit your pants. No, I'm just
Back
fucking,
down.
I'm just fucking with you. You
I'm gonna
you look at him and you get the feeling he does not feel intimidated by you.
I'm gonna look back down at my brother.
You can't really look at your brother. You guys are kind of tied back to back.
Okay. I'm gonna elbow him.
Okay?
I get like, honestly, can I see a way out of this right now?
And I don't know. Can you see a way out of it? You're being dragged towards a hook above a boiling cauldron at the edge of a large sea cliff, surrounded by 9 or 10 other fucking Cyclopses.
Okay, so no perception check.
As you're being dragged, you do look down to your body and you seem to be missing any items and armor. You're both completely naked. You've been stripped of your items.
Restrained.
Okay, that was that plan away.
Well, he's got us.
You start to hear from all these Cyclopses. It's at this point, as you're being dragged towards the hook, they put you at the base of the hook, not attached to it yet. As you see the large Cyclops turns around and begins to grab a few items, a few pots that are on the floor. The other two, as you've made your way up this small seaside cliff, you found yourself at the edge of this ritual, watching it begin to take place as the other two are being dragged towards the hook, eventually are placed down, and you see this large, very intimidating-looking Cyclops begins to start taking a few jars and pieces of masonry, and he seems to be preparing something. You also see the female Cyclops, who seems to just be watching this.
So, Ragnos, how do you think we should approach this?
Well, probably should free our friends first, so they can make their way out.
Though maybe cause a distraction elsewhere to draw them away.
Ragnos, Brian, if you would like to, you can make me either an Arcana or a Nature check.
I'll make the Arcana check, and you can actually.
Actually, no. This should be. These are more natural creatures, so just be.
Yes, I have nature checks.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, it's the
nature.
same for me.
Yeah,
Both that. Boop, boop,
I'm
boop.
gonna make one, but I'm not sure how much a 12 is gonna get me. I rolled better than you, and I have a +0.
What? I just got a bad roll, bro.
So, there seems to be some ritual going on here before they eat the creatures. Neither of you know anything really about Cyclopses at the moment. Or even these Cyclopses. What that Cyclops with the strange plate kind of shaman-looking bone armor is, You do remember being told that the probably leader of this group is the female at the moment, because you do remember talking to the other two within the last few hours and mentioning that it seemed like the Cyclops are trying to take you back to give you as a gift of sorts to the female to
All right.
impress her. At the moment, neither of you see Oleg.
Oleg. Oh yeah, so that the Cyclops that.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
all
calling
the
him
muscle.
Oleg right now because you guys don't know his actual name.
Okay.
So
Alright.
from now on, I will be calling him Oleg when I'm mentioning him, just so you guys are aware.
Alright, yeah.
We'll just say that you guys made a joke and that's what you're calling him for right now.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh
Alright. Well, a ritual of some sort's definitely going on. So,
You can see they're about to be eaten for sure, though, probably.
Alright. Well. Alright, so, Brian, you go in and try to cut him out. I guess I'll make the distraction.
alright. Well, let's get on with this.
So what kind of
Alright.
distraction are you trying to make?
Okay,
Ah.
so Ragnos knows that trying to run from these creatures, or get their attention directly, is probably a poor idea. So he is going to look around the camp and see if there's any. Yeah, if there's. I guess there's. Is there any
So
structure that isn't well made? Like,
So
is there any structural weakness
this
around?
this doesn't seem to be really a camp. It's more so on a large cliffside made of rock and stone. There seems to be some small gaps in the stone, but there does seem to be some areas carved by these cyclopses that lead into inner, like, kind of chambers that they seem to use as housing, as well as some hide and whatnot to cover the housing front.
Okay, so they have
The upper area though does have a few like areas of like stone where you can see that they probably sit and eat, and you can see what seems to be a few old barrels, probably from some loot they stole, some ship parts that seem to be used for certain things. You see a few benches. You see like half of the front of half the bow or stern, whatever it's called, the front of the ship. You see a small ship front half there. You can see a barrel inside there. Make me a perception or investigation check.
Alright, so. I'm actually gonna just. Yeah, I'm gonna look around here.
As he's looking around for a distraction, I'm
25.
going.
So, Ruby, hold on. I'll get to you. Don't worry. So, as you look around, you can see that front of the ship, there are more of those pots that seem to be open that the large other individual is using to, like, dip his fingers in. And you can see that it's this very kind of viscous paint almost that he's pulling out with his fingers. And as you look towards the area of the ship, you could see that there's some barrels and whatnot. It seems to be where they mix the paint or whatever they're using here. You rolled a 25?
Yeah,
Nat 20 for 25.
Okay, nat 20 makes it better. In the waning hours, in the morning of the day, the sunlight isn't... Actually, yeah, no, why did I say moonlight? I'm stupid, sorry. Sunlight would have gotten through. But as the sunlight is barely peering through the clouded cover as rain is hitting and wind is blowing upon this place, you can see that there's definitely a bit of gunpowder or black powder that is being used in the making of this strange paint. Just from this
So
distance.
Ragnos sees this and he realizes. I think I know what I have
Ignition.
to do.
So Ragnos
Okay.
stares over as you're beginning to leave, and he looks to you. You guys can have a small little bit of roleplay here as you're about to leave, Brian.
Hey,
Uh,
actually, Brian, could you light something for me?
of course, but
Or just give me a light and a torch.
By
I'm
the
going
way,
to pull out the torch
there is
and
very little cover here for you guys. It's just like basically not a flat, but an uneven plane of just stone.
I don't
Yeah.
need the one lit right now. Don't want to draw attention, but when I get there, I'll light it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pass him a torch and a matchbox, whatever. As I was going to look for any possible cover on my way towards
You
him.
tried to get to one of the benches, but you would be passing the line of many different cyclopses that are chanting on the edges.
And that would likely get me within their sights.
Yeah.
Remember, okay, listen, you just hide until a distraction happens.
I'll say you're about 150 feet away from the edge of where they are currently at.
150 feet. I have 40-foot movement. Okay.
Yeah. The cyclopses are about 50 feet from that, so they're about 100 feet from you. The closest table would be about 75 feet from you, so you could probably use that for cover, but you would be very close to a few of the cyclopses.
Yeah, if I was able to sneak over.
You can try. Just remember, you don't have a lot of cover, and this is like shaled stone. It's stone, so it's gonna make a noise.
I'm barefoot.
It doesn't matter, it's still gonna make noise. It's gonna make a plap noise instead.
Fair enough.
So, do you wanna try at least?
I'll wait for the distraction.
Okay. So as you begin to get ready, Erit, Vrakos.
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Yes.
As you both are sitting there trying to move yourselves, you're like set sideways, and you watch as the we'll call him the priest for now, begins to take out this viscous kind of like it's almost like a honey kind of consistency as he dips his hand into this red inky like substance and begins to put it onto your faces very tenderly and lightly dexterous, almost as if he's making some arts like Simba from the Lion King, kind of like Simba style. As he begins to do that to you, he puts a red on you, Varakos. He turns you around to your brother, and he takes a nice green liquid in one of his other fingers and starts to do it on your brother. Very artistic, actually. Very funny enough. It's very tribal designs, of course. As this is happening, though, however, you do both... yeah, you do both watch as running up one of the sides, and Ruby, you and Shadowy managed to push to the side so you're not seen by this creature. Watch as a Cyclops with a bleeding ball sack comes running up. And as he starts to make this scene, all the other Cyclopses turn towards him, and the shaman looks backwards, looks towards the female, and continues to put on these strange designs to you. The other Cyclopses start to whisper to each other. As they start to whisper to each other, the female stands up and looks back, and you hear and you see Oleg, we'll call him, approach as he kneels down to the female and starts to speak in Giant to them as they start to speak to him. Eventually, you see her grasp the club and just hit him in the face as you see his just head shatters as he just falls to the ground, bleeding out.
Even more than before.
Yeah.
The worst you can say is no, guys.
This proves it wrong by killing
She
him.
then grabs him and starts to walk towards the edge of the sea. As she pulls him, she gets about halfway towards the hook at this point. Anything you guys want to do?
While they're distracted, I would recommend Ragnos. I think now would be a good time to do that distraction.
It's worth noting that while this is happening, I am.
By the way, now
making
that
my way
she's
over.
standing up, you guys can see she's just below 15 feet tall. Alright, Ragnos, make me a stealth check.
Yeah, right.
I'll say do it with
I'm
advantage
technic-
because the old crew is like, kind of like
Sound
sports fans.
covers the jingling of my half plate.
Yeah, so it's gonna be just a normal roll for you then. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle.
Alright, so that. That's 17.
Ooh, let me check to see what they rolled. What's their wisdom? Okay. Actually, he has to roll too. You watch as you're moving very quietly. None of the others seem to notice you, even the female who continues to pull the Cyclops. But as you're moving and getting towards the edge, you start to get within the boat to just make sure everything's fine, and you do notice a few barrels of gunpowder or black powder, a few kegs, and you're like, okay, this could work. Are you doing anything?
Alright, so with that, Ragnos getting close. He lights up the torch.
You peek
He
in,
uses Mage Hand.
light the torch.
He's gonna use Mage Hand to get it towards there, and he's gonna hold it above the gunpowder to let it drop. And when he lets it drop, he is going to bolt out of the way.
So you have this plan in your mind. You're like, okay. You take a step back as you light the torch. You hit something as the torch lights, and you look up and you see the shaman who's carrying one of these pots seems to be walking back to grab another one and has bumped into you. Picks the pot up and chucks it down at you. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Alright. Alright. Okay. Bruh.
No!
Oh my god! So as you light the torch and this thing throws it, you try to dodge out of the way. I'll say this. As you are trying to dodge out of the way and the pot that is filled with just a little bit of that flammable liquid is about to hit you, do you want to throw the torch at the boat?
I'm going fucking tossing that.
Alright, you immediately toss it about 10 feet in front of you as you jump to the side, getting hit by this pot as it shatters on you, making a sound. As two explosions go off at one time. Ragnos, being 10 feet away from the boat, you're going to take both explosions. So the first one isn't going to be a lot because it's barely any. So the first one deals 3 reduced to 1 point of fire damage against you.
1. And
While the boat, like, you get thrust into the explosion of the boat as it thrusts you back. As
unfortunately, I'm already full on embers.
Yep. Well, actually, you can hold more, I believe. I think we talked about this. You can hold more. It's just once you get finished with the long rest, they disappear. Or finished with the short rest, they disappear. Yeah. Any extras disappear. But yeah. And for the next one, you take 25 reduced to 13 points of fire damage.
So 13, that would be 2 extra embers.
Yeah. So, as this explosion sends you rocketing away back to the front, I'll say this. Ruby, Brian, as you're watching, I'll say you snuck up to the first bench.
Question, does the Cyclops take this damage?
We'll get to that. Ruby, you snuck up to the bench, and you look over and you watch as the shaman finishes painting, and you, Era, and Rocco's notice this too. He finishes painting, picks up one of the pots, and begins to walk back to the ship where he got the rest of the items from. And then as you all follow his vision, watching as Oleg is pulled to the side, you just hear... resounding explosions. Brian, what are you doing?
As their gaze is drawn to the explosions, I am going to move up and
It's at this point, by the way, the woman Cyclops is walking past the hook, by the way, as you're walking. Like, you run directly behind where she was just about to walk as she turns around so she doesn't notice you.
Yeah, I am moving up to Vrakos and his brother and freeing them, using a dagger to cut the ropes.
You get over there, pull out a dagger, begin to start slicing the ropes. Go ahead and make me an attack roll with your dagger.
Okay, so let's see. Nat 20, 26.
You begin to cut the ropes. Rocos and Era, you look back towards this Brian, who seems to be cutting your ropes very fast. And at this point, you hear Oleg seems to be injured, but he seems to be coming back to consciousness as his eye opens up. And you look towards the female, who looks down towards Oleg, and then hears and looks over towards you. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Alright, well, at least they're free now.
Mm-hmm.
How many enemies are in this combat?
There's the shaman. There's
Okay.
the 9 cyclopses. There's Oleg. You're not sure if he's an enemy or not because he might not be able to even do shit. And then there's the female shaman, the female cyclops.
Alright.
This is a beyond deadly encounter, by the way.
So basically, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Except Gesh.
Oh, no.
That's what a Gesh would say.
Gesh, what did you roll for your initiative?
Let me see. 15.
Okay. Give me a second. The regular cyclops is okay. The shaman.
Zeus.
Gesh, shut up.
What? What were you about to say? Tell me.
Fuck up, Gesh.
I don't want to say anything.
That's good. Good, you don't want to say shit.
Oh my god, now
Bitch
people are
asshole.
fucking texting me. What the? Give me a second. Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm.
Copy, delete. Okay. 1 second, sorry.
What?
Okay. Paste. Gesh, what did you make? What did you get?
15.
Okay. Ruby, what'd you get?
16.
Okay. Shadowy, what'd you get?
I got a 10.
Okay. And then, Zeus, what'd you get?
I got a total of 5.
Okay, what's your bonus?
My bonus. Wait, Celine rolled this. Okay. My bonus is +2.
Hold on. A total of 5?
Yes, so I got a 3 plus 2.
Okay. There's the initiative, by the way.
Alright. Let's see how terrible we... What?! I did not expect that.
So, Ruby, as you're starting to cut their ropes, do you want to continue to use your action to cut their ropes fully, or do you want to... You know that you're in the midst of combat now. If you use your action, you can finish cutting the ropes here, without having to do anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to finish cutting the ropes.
Alright, you take your dagger, finish up cutting the ropes very quickly as you use your action to do so. As the ropes fall loose for the two of you, by the way.
Ah,
And-
shit.
So I'm like right next to the chiefess and...
You're about 15 feet
Oleg.
from the chiefess and Oleg.
Okay, so I am going to move 40 feet away.
Okay.
As
This
I'm
is
going to
range of a
Hexblade
weapon.
Curse
Let me-
on the
Let me see the
chief.
range of her weapon really quickly. Okay, you're good. You're gonna put your Hexblade curse on the female Dami Mommy chiefess, yeah?
Yes, on the chiefess.
Alright. Okay, sure. As you cast your, as you pull out your, I assume you pull out your sword to do this, right?
Yep.
Alright, so you pull out your sword, and as you do, you see the green light adhere to her beautiful, almost emerald slash garnet kind of colored skin as she tries to brush it off but can't. As you move, wait, you moved to the 40 points, so you move 25 feet back, okay. You get 25 feet back, and you like get to the 40 point back from her, and you nearly fall off a small, one of those small little rock kind of one of those breaks in the rocks that seems to be not a problem for them to step over, but for you, a smaller person, kind of hard.
Mm.
It's gonna take at least like a jump. It's gonna take at least 5 feet to jump over it.
I did say I was using all 40 feet to move away.
How do you have 40 feet of movement?
Mobile
Fenrir's
Gave
Blessing
us-
of the Tempest.
The Tempest.
Oh yeah, I keep
Oh
forgetting
wait,
about that.
not mobile. I forgot.
Your own buff.
Okay, so you push back and you jump off this and get back about to the 55-foot distance from her. You're about halfway to the edge of this cliff face. This would be the north edge, not the west edge, which goes off to the sea. As you space yourself away from them, does that end your turn?
Yes, it does.
Eric, as you come back to, you're at full health, and you look around completely butt naked as you see this shaman just threw a pot down, exploded a bit, and then you watch as the female is now... You're on the side the female is, and she's looking towards you and the other individual that just got released, your brother.
Huh. That's a good situation to be in,
Nope, it's not.
but with a bit of luck I can make it a bit less terrible. How many of the Cyclopses can I get in a 30 feet cone? Or only the female?
Only the female at the moment, and Oleg.
I'm sorry, Oleg.
No! He might be friendly!
Alright, so you're gonna cast...
You Oleg.
What?
Nothing.
What are you gonna cast?
Pulse Wave.
Okay.
They both need to make a, con save.
Okay. And because of her crown...
Ah, fuck.
Fuck, she still fails. Shit.
Haha.
I think
Wait.
anyway. What's your save?
Wait. It's 16 is the safe
Okay,
DC.
yeah, she fails.
Wait,
She's
was
gonna use her
she at the
she's gonna use her
cliff?
legendary- No. The cliff
okay.
is 30 feet to your right.
Ah, okay, good.
Yeah.
I thought...
Oh, sorry, no, 20 feet to your right. But
That isn't
and
bad.
she's directly in front of you, so she's not near the cliff at all. But she's gonna use her legendary resistance to succeed.
Okay. That's half
Oh, hold
damage
on,
and
no, I
this...
have the wrong page open. She does not have one of those, and she would have still failed. My bad. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Oleg does succeed. Somehow.
Nice.
I'm happy.
His will to live.
That would make it... That does not create an interesting interaction, because one of them is about to get pushed back while the other is not.
Interesting, yeah. Go ahead and roll damage first.
Yeah, that's... 66. 18 for the... For the female one, and 9 for Oleg. And he is gonna
Watch
get
Oleg
pushed
just
away.
immediately goes unconscious, but as she's getting pulled back, she holds onto Oleg and manages to stand her ground.
No!
Using him as a
come on.
counterweight.
Oh, come on.
If she was by herself and not holding onto him as a counterweight, then yes, she would have been flung back even with her gigantic size. But with the mass that Oleg is, it's going to be hard to do. You watch as she's being flung back, she's holding onto Oleg, and she slams her her great club into the ground, and it seems to almost hold her strong there. She manages to stop herself being flung back. Her breast jiggling breast only in the wind.
Only because he succeeded.
Mhm.
Because theoretically, with that spell, I could push a fucking Drask away.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Her breastly in the pulse wave. Anyways,
Oh god.
does that
she- I think if I move away, I'm gonna get hit. So,
You can stand
yeah.
up for half your movement.
I will do that.
Alright, you stand up, pushing off your brother as your flingeting flops through the wind. As you're getting hit by rain with this tribal markings all over your body. You stand up and begin to move back. Do you move away from this creature?
She's directly in front of me.
Mm-hmm. About 10 feet. Actually, technically, he would have ran up about 15 feet. You're not sure if she can hit you.
Fuck it, I will move away my remaining 25 feet.
All right, you move away 20. Yeah, 50. Damn, I forgot you're an air fucking elemental. You move 25 feet back, and you get to the edge of that fucking like small divot in the cracked rock, and you look backwards towards Brian. Brian, this man's just hanging dong on a Wednesday.
Damn.
Too bad it's not too big, but now you know why his brother mentioned that his high school friends called him Tripod.
Damn. Too bad Brian's asexual.
Anyways, does that finish your turn?
Yes.
Alright, all the Cyclopses, as they all begin to rush, about 3 to 4 of them are going to use their dash actions to get to... actually, no, they wouldn't need to use their dash actions to get to you, Ruby. Brian is the ones that are surrounding on the other side. Get towards you, about 3 of them. 2 of them would need to use their dash actions, so there's going to be 3 attacks against you. You see, I had this whole idea planned where you could be like, challenge the chief to a fight and only have to fight the chief. You know? It's a fucking it's a tribal group. And I mentioned that.
We can't talk to them exactly.
Yeah.
Could have tried. Anyways, so 3 attacks and 2 of them are at advantage. So, those are definitely gonna hit you. What's your AC? 14, you said?
Yep. 1-4.
One's a critical,
Ah, shit.
and one of them hits you. The second one, the third one, that is a critical as well.
What the fuck?
So you take from the first critical 38 bludgeoning damage. The second
Oh no.
The second critical 38.
I'm down.
I'm using averages here. Alright, so one of them hits you in the side of the head, you go, oh, as the other one uses his great club to just smack you into the ground, and the other one takes his great club and almost like golf swings you forward. As you get flung, as you take 19 points of damage, you take a failed death save. I'm going to say because the attack was made before you went unconscious, I'm not going to count it as a 2. You get flung back forward as you hit and land on you go soaring directly over the head of the air genasi and land directly on Vrakos. Vrakos, you just get landed on by Brian.
Only I had thought of activating Fenrir's Tempest.
Anyways, as you go unconscious and fall upon your friend, that ends the Cyclops' turns. The other ones are going to start rushing in towards the shaman to aid. Shadowy, as you go flying through the air, you land...
No.
Shadowy, as you're 30 feet in the air, you manage to fly your wings out, and you look down, and you see the shit show that's starting.
Okay, so I guess...
You do see the shaman is like... brushing off a bunch of fire from himself.
Okay. Just a few questions.
Mhm.
First, if I'm getting the scene right, we have this big cliffside where the ritual is taking place. A bit lower, we have the homes, and then in this little divot here, we have the ship that's near like the shore.
No, it's all like a flat surface. There's a little bit of like a strange topography to it. But on the western edge is the cliffside that just falls to the ocean with the small hook and cauldron. On the northern face, a little bit northeast, like on the very edge of it, it just falls down to forest, basically. But there is the front of the ship, which is now gone. And then there's this small, like, staircase placed on the eastern edge that goes down to the cliffside houses. There are small divots and cracks in the ground, because this is, like, multiple plateaus of stone that are all, like, out of the same kind of hill of stone. But there's been, like, breaks and cracks in them that are, like, 5 feet wide or so, that these individuals can just step over, so it doesn't matter to them.
Alright.
There's also a few
yeah,
tables and stone areas that have been made out of some of the stone here. It's not it's not fully like completely flat. Like there's maybe 2 feet down and 3 feet up in some places, but it's mostly flat.
Okay. So yeah, it's mainly like this cliffy little plateau.
Yeah, and you and Brian came up from the south side. There's a small like natural staircase that's been formed there.
Okay. So, seeing as my friends are being surrounded by, or at least, actually, Brian's been knocked away, and there's those 4 Cyclopses that are, I guess, how close are they to the edge?
Not at all.
Alright,
There's
so
no
about 30 or
Cyclops
so
near.
feet.
The only Cyclops that's near an edge is the Shaman. And he's about 10 feet from an edge.
Oh, 10 feet.
Mm-hmm. He's
How far
10
down
feet,
does that fall?
10 feet from the eastern edge, and it falls about 120 feet.
Oh. In that case, seeing that, Roundness is actually going to fly just so he's angled, he's angled so that, in a way, that the Shaman is or at least if you were to shoot the Shaman, it would push him over the edge.
So I'll say you don't even use your flying speed at this point. You do a cool ass backflip in this wind, and you start to stop flying as it makes you fall as you catch yourself and cast a spell forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna be casting Eldritch Blast at this guy.
Oh, don't tell me you took that bullshit evocation.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Yes, I did.
Which
And
one?
if you have Spell Sniper,
Okay, go ahead and make an
do
attack.
you
roll.
have?
All right, so that's.
And I'm not
two-
going. I'm not going to look at the channel. Just tell me if it's above 15.
All right, so that's plus 9.
You don't even know what
Okay.
his AC is. I'm just letting you know. Tell me if it's above 15.
Alright.
Don't tell me
What's
what
that?
it is though.
All right, that's a 21 for the first one.
I
and a
just
12.
said don't tell me what it is.
Oh.
I literally said let me know if it's above 15, but don't tell me what it is, because he has shield.
All right.
First one hits. Actually, hold up, because he would technically be wearing that on as well. Yeah, no, because you told me what it is. He is going to cast shield. And as he's like reeling, he gets a sense in the back of his head and looks directly at you as he puts his hand forward, and this shield that just seems to be this multiple ethereal skeletons that seem to just form into this ethereal shield appears in front of him, and he looks towards you. You see him start to pull out this gnarled wand from beneath his cloak that he wears. A strange hide cloak with bones on it.
Interesting.
The wand itself is like a good... Like, any of you would count it as a staff. But it's like a good 7 to 10 feet long. Twisted.
Alright.
It's made of bone and it's twisted and gnarled. Anyways,
Okay.
your next attack, because you get 2 with Eldritch Blast, right?
Oh, I did 2 of them already.
Okay, and did that reach above 21?
The other one is lower than 15.
Okay, so as you shoot both of them, he blocks both of them and just looks towards you.
Okay, so
Actually, let
it
me
seems that-
check. Let me check his AC one more time because I'm not sure if. 'Cause technically he's not wearing that shit, but his AC is. Their AC is based off natural armor, so it's not based off his dex. So that's. Yeah, no, the 21 was still hit.
Alright.
So as he pulls up the shield, one of them breaks through and hits him. Does he need to make a save of some sort?
Just pushes them.
I'm gonna give him a save because you kind of fucked me over there by saying what you rolled. So I'm gonna give him a strength save here, and I'm gonna roll it. What's your spell save DC?
It's 17.
Okay, he fails. Because even though he's a Cyclops, he is a mage.
That's
So as that one
only
pushes through and hits him, you see him get flung how far back?
10 feet. That's only 8 force damage.
He gets to the very edge, and you see him like about to topple off. Let's make a check for him. Natural 20. He manages to like take his wand and shove. Actually, no, because he wouldn't be tall enough for that. You see him about to fall off, and he just you see only his big toe has a large nail on it, and it just manages to pierce into the stone and hold him there. It's a very bad. It's like a very old and like clean
Hangnail.
nail. It's not a hangnail. It looks like it's like when you think of like an ogre, think of an ogre's like toenail.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very
So,
disgusting.
Also, Goblin, before I end my turn, aside from movement,
Mhm.
I do want to ask, When it comes to the flames, can you have multiple flames active at once?
I believe we went over this. Yes, but let me just check.
Ah,
I think some of them mentioned that they cannot be activated with other flames, but who knows? I haven't read over them again in a while now, so I'm gonna say you can. But just remember, some of them still deal damage to you.
alright.
It's,
Some of them deal damage,
I'm
yeah.
assuming it's the same as you could use the Ember, like, Shale's Searing Strike with it, so...
Yeah. Okay,
It's just
so in
remember,
that
you gotta spend multiple accounts of Embers.
Yep, okay. So with that in mind, Ragnos uses his bonus action to activate Shale Shy's Emerald Flame.
Okay.
Alright.
Let me just check that again. Damn! Just a while back. Give me a second to go find it. Shale Shy's Emerald Flame. Okay. Okay, and just to let you know, for that, you don't, when it says whenever you would deal fire damage, it doesn't mean you have to actually deal that damage if the creature is immune to it specifically. I know this flame goes through resistances and whatnot, but if you do not deal fire damage to a creature specifically with the Emerald Flame, it still deals the radiant damage. It's just you have to have the effect, because like if the creature's like, oh, I'm immune to fire damage, and they don't take the damage, even though you would still deal that damage no matter what, you still deal it, the radiant damage. Anyways, as you pulling out your longsword to activate this.
Yeah.
All right. So as Ragnos shoots 2 blasts of this eldritch nature towards this creature, you see him pull out his longsword, and this emerald flame bursts across it. You see when in the small cracks of your longsword that's breaking on you, you see that it starts to almost coat into those as well. It actually comes out of those specifically. Anything else on your turn?
Okay. Considering if I'm remembering correctly, or at least the area the boat used to be is at least behind something.
Huh?
Or was lower.
It's a little bit lower than the rest, but you're right next to it, because you just fell down to shoot at the man. The guy was standing right in front of it, yeah.
Seeing as this shaman seems to have some kind of combat magic, I'm at Ragnos is actually going to fly down, closer to his friends. He's gonna go fly.
I keep picturing Moog, Lord of Blood, whenever I think of the shaman. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's exactly the feel I got from him.
Yeah. Anyways, continue. So you fly over towards your friends using all your movement?
Yeah.
Alright, manage to just barely get to your friends in time, because you have, like, a ridiculous, like, combining all your movements, like, 90 movement speed. So you manage to just barely get over to your friends. You see the female chiefess is starting to get ready to start running towards the group as she's dropping Oleg.
Alright.
Anyways, that end your turn?
Yeah, it should be the end of my turn.
The shaman, barely managing to stay on, pulls himself up with his toenail. You hear it crack, and he just looks down, looks towards you guys, and you're about 120 feet away. How far is this spell?
How much damage does it look to the broken toenail?
None.
Damn.
Oleg is not the one with the broken toenail.
I mean, the shaman.
He takes none. The shaman looks towards you all, and you all hear, none of you speak this language, because none of you are druids. You hear in, like, this strange language that seems to almost sound like the trees creaking in the wind, as he puts his hand out, pulls his wand, and shoves it forward. You guys see this green energy seem to almost flow through the wand to the front, as this green ray shoots very fast and lands directly between all of you except for Eret. As you see it suddenly expands outwards into a flaming ball. As an explosion happens, I need everyone except for Eret to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Except for me, because I take another failed death save.
Yep, you only take one though, which is funny.
That makes 2 dead. Failed.
Mm-hmm.
Which means if I get hit again, I'm dead.
14!
And that's only 11.
You fail.
I need help.
Man, is this gonna be the death of the party?
Honestly,
Don't worry. The horde of Cyclopses, I gave them 1 HP pool.
That does not fill me with confidence.
Anyways, Rocco's, what's your save?
13.
You're technically prone, so it's a disadvantage.
Oh, you shit. You motherfucker. You, 21. So it's still a 13.
If only my sword was considerate enough to activate her healing effect.
13 succeeds. Shadowy, you rolled what again? 11? Jesus Christ.
Damn it.
Shadowy, you rolled 11?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
As the explosion goes off, Rocco's, you manage to pull yourself back just enough to get rid of some of these flames from hitting you.
Bro, you
Sound like you're underwater.
I don't know what's going on with Discord lately. It's just not been connecting correctly.
You're fine now.
Vrakos, you take 29, reduced to 14 points of fire damage. And you, Shadowy, take 14 as well, because you're resistant.
Alright, so that's 2. Let me just note that down. So 2 more embers.
Yeah.
14.
Fontaine.
As this fireball goes off and injures you both, you watch as the shaman suddenly shuffles forward 30 feet and ends his turn in attack phase. Anyways.
I switched my Cyclops to attack mode.
That ends their turn. It is now whose turn? Zeus, Brokos. As you reel from the natural fireball that hit you, and Brian hitting you from behind, and watching as Ragnos reels from the fireball as well, what are you doing?
Alright. I'm going to...
Are you gonna stand
pull
up?
I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna pull my sword.
I'll say you used your reaction to do like a cool backflip to stand up the last, like when you got hit by the fireball, so your reaction is back now and you're standing.
Gotcha. Actually, I don't have my sword. Where is my sword?
It's not in your hand at the moment.
I'm gonna look for my sword. That is step
Is
one.
it not considered a bound weapon?
Oh, it is a bound weapon. Never mind. I'm gonna resummon it.
Yeah.
It's like, where's my weapon?
Since you're a hex blade, you can resummon it.
As you're wondering where your weapon is, you
As
realize
an action.
you watched Brian summon it once, and you're like, and you close your eyes and start to focus hard. Roll me a charisma. Roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah. Since it's not in his subspace, it will take an action to recall instead of a free action.
Technically,
It's
yes.
that.
Well, this is
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna see.
I'm better at intimidation. Okay, +2. 6.
Ugh.
You can use your action to summon it if you want.
I'll do it. Okay, I'm gonna think real hard. I'm gonna summon it.
You start to think really hard, and you all watch as the area in front of him suddenly turns to blackened stone, and you see it like start to mold upwards like a hill, and you see a hilt appear out of the stone as his sword begins to be a sword in a stone, and you just reach down and pull it out as you put your foot on the hill, and you pull it out as it turns back into its normal form. The ground does.
Alright. I'm gonna pull my sword close up to my face.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell at it. Should we run?
Hey, what's going on? What the fuck? Why are you naked? Why is there a big Cyclops what is going on?
I love what happened. We have 6 seconds though, it's a round.
Yeah, that's all you get for the round.
Yeah.
I think you can use it as a bonus action, right?
My weapon?
You just took 14 fire damage, man.
Right.
You have 3 charges left, man.
Honestly, I should probably do that. Yeah, I'm gonna use 1 charge.
Mhm.
Catch me.
What?
What?
Huh?
What?
Alright, go ahead and Use that charge then.
I will do healing. I love healing. Hiya! 11. I healed most of it back.
You guys watch as he pulls it out and pulls it close to himself and starts talking to it. Suddenly, these green energy ribbons seem to reach out and just surround him like a hand and then squeeze into him as you see his wounds close a bit.
Damn. His sword cares about him more than mine does.
Does that end your turn, Zeus?
And okay, is anyone in attack opportunity range with me? I'm scared.
You're not sure.
I'm unconscious at 2 failed death saves.
Yeah, you can see Brian's not looking good. In fact, he went flying after the fireball that 15 feet away from you.
And my sword isn't gonna heal me.
Yeah, like you
on its
stand up
own.
and you're like, what the fuck's going on? And you just hear as Brian hits the ground.
Well, perfect. Brian has proven that there's no traps in that direction because he didn't fall in a pit of spikes. I'm gonna run in the direction of Brian.
Okay.
That 15 feet.
Okay.
And I can't really do very much because I'm out of actions. But I'm farther away. I don't want to fully run away yet. That might anger my sword. Yeah, I'm gonna stop at Brian and like bend down next to him.
You get down. You get over to Brian.
You're
You
not-
start slapping him on the face. Hey! Wake up! Wake up! You got a phone call.
Get up, samurai!
Wake up, samurai! We
Just
got a city
slap-
to burn!
I'm just slapping the shit out of him.
He EP.
He's sleepy. Oh no!
Brian right now.
Oh man, people! I forgot. Humans sleep and shit.
Yeah, no, Brian's just like laid the fuck out.
Oh,
Like, I'm bleeding from my eyes, ears, nose, mouth.
Well,
All of that.
So is Rockos because he kind of like thought too hard. But anyways, does that end your
Okay.
turn, Zeus?
That's everything I can do. I asked my sword if we should run, and I ran over to Brian.
The chiefess watches all this, and she's gonna look over to you, Ragnos, and pull up her club as he hits the ground and points it at you. As she's going to then bend down and leap into the sky as you hear this thunderous as the rocks where she stood crack as she leaps into the sky about 50 feet. And because you walked 15 feet away, yeah, she's gonna land in between both of you, because that's like a good like 5, 10, 15, about 20 feet. So she manages to take up most of that space landing there. As she does, you feel this earthquake almost, this tremor hit the rocks and reverberate out from where she lands. I need both of you to make me strength saves.
Who and who?
Both of you.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll say Brian's just at the other end of you so he doesn't get hit by this.
Yeah.
Thank God. Otherwise, I would have just flat out died.
Yeah. Brian, it's not enough to make you go flying or anything.
I got that 17.
17?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just.
You succeed.
Sorry to ask this. What type of save is it?
I said it twice!
There we go.
Buffoon.
15.
Alright. What did you guys roll?
17.
17?
15.
Okay. You both succeed.
Yay!
As you nearly get knocked backwards, you manage to hold your ground. As she pulls up her large great club, and she looks back towards both of you, and you hear her, Uvan, Uvan, and she points towards the other Cyclopses, and she points towards the shaman, Uvan, Ula, He, and points towards the burning boat to him. You see the other Cyclopses suddenly start to move backwards, as if being called off. She pulls her club up and puts it above her shoulder and looks towards the two of you that are still conscious. Anyways. That ends your guys' turns. Start of the turn.
Yeah.
She brings her foot up like a samurai and hits the ground with it. I need everyone to make me a strength save again.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
I
shit.
can't.
Not you, Brian. It doesn't affect you.
Okay.
It's not damage.
I'm just rattling like it's a dang waterbed being shaken in an
Yeah,
earthquake.
you
No,
just sound like this. Your bones are just making that noise every time.
Oh fuck!
Literally,
it's the
because
one.
of how skinny he is as canon.
So, Gesh, what'd you roll?
1.
Okay, so you get knocked prone on the ground.
I got a 13.
You get knocked prone on the ground.
I got a 17 again.
You manage to stay standing as well because you're using your wings to help you. It's not fair, but you know. She then looks directly at you, Ragnos, and smiles a bit. Anyways, make me a death save, Ruby. Actually,
My sword can still heal me. I haven't used her ability today.
it can. You didn't have it
But it's
summoned, though, is the problem.
I had it on my back.
Yeah, but you hadn't had it drawn, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Shit.
Which means it wasn't active at that point. I will roll here. Okay. So let's see. Where is it? Where did I say? Is it 1 charge a day? Yeah, 1 charge a long rest.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys watch as Brian, who's on the ground, is getting like shooken around. Suddenly, his greatsword glows. The hilt of it glows a emerald green color, and it almost seems to seep downwards into his body as you see this like emerald hand touch onto it. Go ahead and roll it for yourself, and that's going to use your charge for the day. As you hear in your head,
All right.
Brian, get up.
Let's see how. I forgot what level I am.
1d10 per level in Warlock for you.
Yep, so it's 5d10.
Man, how much health do you have? If 38 brought you down.
I have 60 max health.
How did?
I took 13 damage from the sword slash and
Ah.
38 and 38 again, you said?
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot it was 38 twice.
Well, looks like I'm going to die.
How much
5 health. I rolled the absolute fucking minimum.
Oh, all right. You feel that there's. It makes sense because you didn't have it drawn at that point.
I brought you back.
5 ones.
Anyways, you managed to get back up, breathing. It's still your turn. What do you want to do?
Okay, so we have not. I have not. It has not been a short rest for me, so I don't
No.
have my spell slots back.
No.
So
Well, you get them back on a long rest too.
Yeah.
So you would have your
Short
spell
or
slots
long
back.
I'm going to Thunder Step. Actually, I'm going to move 20 feet away from Vrakos, then Thunder Step 120 feet away from the battle.
So I will say this: you are still within the range. So as you are standing up, you would notice that you're about 10 feet away from the large lady.
I am going to move around her so that only she is within range of me, then Thunder Step 120 feet away.
Okay. You manage to move away, and Thunderstep, you manage to begin to cast the spell as you pull your weapon out and slam it into the ground, almost mimicking her a little bit. And you stare at her, and she looks to you. Let's see what this spell level is, because technically he may have
Must
this.
make a con save,
Give me a
taking
second,
3d10.
because he may have this. No,
Oh,
he
wait,
uses, he
90
used his only 3rd level
Fine.
spell. Never mind, you can't use that. So, as you go, you look backwards and you see the shaman starting to try and cast a spell, but then he can't really realize that he's trying to cast counterspell, but can't, because he used his 3rd level slot.
Yep.
As you vanish, because this is a spell-like effect, she does have advantage. What is the DC?
Alright, con save, the DC is 14.
Yeah, she succeeds.
Alright, so she takes half of
Yeah.
the damage.
You do, as you do shift yourself, you do see a bit of the mana from your spell is absorbed into her crown of bones.
Round up or down?
Down.
Okay, so she takes 1 damage.
You,
I rolled minimum again!
as you're
Suck.
as you're teleporting away, you do hear, coward. Or sorry, coward. Bit of broken common. She understands common a little bit. Anyways, as you teleport out of the battle, are you teleporting?
120.
Are you teleporting
Yes.
east, north, south, or west?
Along the coast, but along the cliff, but not off the cliff.
Okay, so how far can you teleport?
90 feet, not
Okay.
120 feet. Like
So
I
I
thought.
assume you want some extra like space so you don't get pushed off, correct?
Yeah.
All right, you're about 10 feet from the edge of the northern cliff side. You would be at
Can
this
I
point
just-
100. You'd be about 90 feet from the battle.
Yeah. As she says coward, before I cast the spell, can I point at myself and say near dead?
No.
Damn.
Anyways, does that end your turn?
Yeah. I
Okay.
lost my Hexblade curse because I went unconscious.
Yeah. Gesh. And I'm mistaken. Her crown does not absorb the magic. The club does.
Well.
Gesh, it is now your turn. Eric, as you watch this entire scene play out before you, Brian literally just fucking books it with a spell. He's like, fuck this shit, and disappears.
Asshole. So,
As you're on the ground, you also... This woman is basically horror-looing you motherfuckers.
what?
Oh, you haven't played Elden Ring, okay.
I didn't
Neither
even
have I.
understand what you said.
She's essentially horror-looing us.
It's a boss in the game.
Ah,
Does very similar shockwave moves to this.
uh,
I didn't even plan that, to be honest with you. I sat down 15 minutes before the game. I was like, what abilities am I going to give her? Here's the moves.
yeah, I
You
know.
played too much Elden Ring.
Yes. Anyways, what are you doing, Gesh? You're about, at this point, I would say... She jumped about 15 feet. You're about 25 feet from her. Technically, only 20 feet to hit her, technically, because she is a 15-foot creature.
Okay, how many creatures can I get now in Pulse Wave?
If you target the many Cyclopses that are not in the battle anymore, you can get, like, 5 of them in it.
Oh yeah, it has turned into a 1v1, essentially.
If you target her, you're gonna hit all your friends.
Okay, that's not an option.
Nope.
First off, I'm gonna stand up.
Okay. You push yourself
That-
up, and like your knees are wobbling a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna use Mouse Minute Meteors,
All right.
and then immediately use my bonus action to hurl 2 of them at her.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
And she needs to do 2 dex saves.
Okay, and these are against spells technically. What's your save?
16.
Okay. She fails both.
Okay, then I just roll the 46 together.
Okay.
X
She brings her
17.
club up and like blocks both of them, but still takes the damage. How much damage?
17.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna move away. With
You're
my
like-
remaining
You're 20
25
feet away
feet.
from her. Okay. You jump over the small cliff and move 25 feet back. You eventually do run into the wall of Cyclopses that are directly behind you, and they seem to shove you away from moving past them.
Okay, yeah. Shit.
You
Well,
look at them and
that
they just
ends-
look at you. Like drool and spittle just hits your face.
Okay, yeah, I can't piss off. Okay,
Ragnos,
that's all.
it is now your turn. The woman stands before you.
Alright, so Ragnos hearing coward is gonna ask a simple question. Speak common?
Speak lesser. Not know
I just
much. Sorry, not know much.
Alright. But I guess Ragnos looking around at the other Cyclopses at least gets the idea of, okay, this is turned into a more of a duel.
You get the feeling, yeah.
All right.
It was supposed to be
Alright.
this way originally.
All right.
And then I went down.
Yes.
All right. Let's dance. So Ragnos is gonna use his next bonus action to activate Crimson Flame.
Okay. The sword doesn't seem to be holding together well with both these flames active.
That's the thing. I'm using a durability system for my longsword to keep track of stuff. So how much? I have about 20 ticks, and I was at 19 before these. So how much damage would these both do?
I will say, if you hit with the sword, it's going to do 2 ticks.
Okay. So with that, I've acted with Ragnos activating. So, yeah, having these flames active, he's going to rush forward,
Okay.
and he's going to take the attack action. He's all.
Strike at her after flying towards her with her wings.
Okay. Oh, is someone?
Go ahead.
Rocco's is on the other side of her, or?
Technically, yeah.
Alright.
So you have advantage.
In that case. Alright.
She is going to use her reaction to brace. She brings her club up and braces as you see her body almost hardens a bit in response to you attacking her. What?
That was a nat 20 for a 29.
Okay. You still hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 29, actually? Hold up. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. That is a double critical.
What is with me and getting criticals on bosses? What? Look at this.
You just built different.
That's a double critical, so go ahead and roll all your damage added together and then quadruple it.
Goblin, it's also worth noting that I have a 22 charisma, giving me a +6 modifier.
Okay.
So I can use free embers on a shale strike.
Okay.
Ooh.
Alright.
Just roll damage.
Ouch.
Just let you know, I balance these fights so you guys don't die immediately, and I have to take into account this motherfucker. So if this boss is, which is probably a CR, let's see here, usually a CR6, probably CR7 at this point, is one shot by one level 5 character, the fights are going to be getting harder and harder, just so you're aware.
Which means I'm going to be dying faster and
To
faster.
be fair, I'm level 6.
Because I'm usually one shot in these
Okay,
fights.
I could also ask, is this Cyclops lady considered chaotic or evil?
Chaotic.
Okay. So yeah, that buffs up the radiant damage.
Oh, I apologize. If they are chaotic evil, it's doubled for whatever that would originally be.
Shit.
Yeah, so
What
it activates on chaotic and evil. Not
Also,
chaotic or evil, both of them it activates on. So it would
so
activate on
it's-
the chaotic and the evil nature of someone else, but she is not chaotic evil.
And you wonder why he one-shots bosses when he is like the strongest party member by
Well,
far.
he has to use these resources that he has, which is why I make glass cannons. And I do target him. If you guys haven't noticed, the last combats, I have been targeting him because the bosses have been seeing him do a lot of ton of damage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
he's
the-
still
He
by
just-
far
he
the
just keep-
strongest.
He just keeps getting lucky.
And I keep getting severely unlucky.
Yeah,
what is it?
yeah.
Roll all your damage, and then we're going to quadruple it afterwards.
Yeah, so I
The-
think
the-
I think that's everything. Yeah, okay.
So the
Go
radiant damage is only 1d12, I think it is.
It's only 1d12?
Yeah, because she's not chaotic evil.
Oh yeah, it's only chaotic.
Yeah.
Then that would double that, if I'm getting that right.
What?
If she was chaotic and evil.
Yeah, it would be 2d12 instead.
Okay. Oh, I don't think that part was mentioned.
Yeah, I never mentioned it. Okay, so that is 204 damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh, I actually need to do one more thing. I forgot. Sorry.
Which of that
I
is
just
just
need to
the
roll.
physical damage?
I'm just adding d6 of slashing damage. I'm using defensive flourish on that.
Okay.
So that's an additional 4 damage, considering I got a 1 on that.
Okay, so that's 3, so... That
It
would
also
be 12.
temporarily increases my
6.
AC to 20.
Okay, I don't care. So 208 reduced to 202 because of her bracing and reducing physical damage by half. So, yeah. You guys watch as Ragnos flies up and slashes against her. Ragnos, I'm going to roll for your weapon here because of the amount of damage you just dealt with it against this hardened body. Yeah, no, your weapon shatters. As you watch, it turns into these, like, you know metalworking when, like, the pieces of metal go flying off at the sparks? That's basically what your sword turns into as you shatter it across her, and the shrapnel just flies through her and just peppers out the other side like a meteor swarm that just goes flying into the air, and you just watch her body, like, she takes a single step back, and then just collapses to the ground as you watch her body begin to melt from the heat, severe heat.
A question?
Mm-hmm.
How much would I? Yeah, it's a fourth of the HP, so that would be about 51 damage I restore, or 51 HP.
Give me a second to look. 208, 12, 6, so 206 divided by 4. You would regain 51 HP.
Okay, yeah, so I don't think that transfers to temporary, so
No.
it's just I go to max.
Yeah, so as you strike her and all these sparks go flying through her, you see her land. Well, she falls unconscious, for sure. As she just falls unconscious, she doesn't go to her negative health. And you see her just fall to the ground, unconscious, as parts of her body are starting to catch flame. She is definitely dying at the moment. The shaman looks to you all, and he starts to point towards the other Cyclopses. The other Cyclopses look towards him, and they all begin to slowly back away. As you
Ragnos looks a bit shocked, like,
pull,
oh my god.
As you pull the handle of your sword up, which is now shattered completely, you look at it and look towards the others as the rain begins to pour heavily, lightning strikes and thunder engulfs the entire area. You all look towards Ragnos as you see what seems to be these horns on his head are grow an extra inch or two. His tail becomes more barbed and his wings are seemingly becoming larger.
Oh wait, Goblin, I should note,
Mhm.
Ragnos doesn't have horns. So now he forms horns.
Yeah, you guys see. Well, as I've mentioned multiple times to multiple people, all tieflings in my games have horns. So I don't know what you want to do there, but yeah. So yeah, you guys do see horns starting to form outside of Ragnos' head. Anyways, as you all watch this man stand upon the body of his recently defeated foe, as he seems to almost go into a trance of sorts, his eyes, as he begins to breathe heavy, and you see his eyes begin to glow with a flame. You all watch as Ragnos stares at all of you, grabs the club from the ground as it becomes encased in this flame as well. Actually, the flame would be gone after you hit, right?
Yeah, because it infuses the blade, if I'm
He grabs the
recalling right.
large great club and stares at you all.
Actually, would it... Also, didn't you say something about it going to the hand?
This is why I don't play with a lot of people, because you guys keep interrupting. The green one disappears after the strike, correct?
It lasts for about an hour.
Okay. So yeah, you watch as his hand starts to glow with this green flame. He picks up the club and it transfers to it, and he just stares at you all. You all do not sense the same Ragnos behind his eyes, as he begins to immediately charge with his fly speed at you, Vrakos. And that's where we're going to end the session.